Alrighty, hello everyone. It's Monday again. That means it's time for more of our history of lace. And I'm wearing that shawl that I finished because I washed it and I trimmed the ends. And it's not perfect, but it's warm and it's comfortable. I like it. So I'm wearing my shawl today. It's also just a wee bit chilly in my house. Yeah, so I'm wearing it. So let's see, what are the things I need to remind you about? Don't forget that we do have our ongoing year of self-care. So make sure that you have checked out blacksheepfiberemporium.com and the very minimal rules to enter the year of self-care contests, because yeah, you can totally enter. And all you have to do is take a photo or a video of something you're working on which qualifies for the year of self-care, and to do that it has to be needlework of some kind, and post it to social media and tag us with Black Sheep Fiber Emporium or BSFE so I can find it, because that's how you get entries. And you can post more than once a month, you can post more than once a day. I don't really care how many times you enter, just so long as you enter, and tell your friends about it so they can participate too. And hello to Cheryl and Tamara, and I think Bev might be lurking out there as well. So yeah, don't forget about that. Also, tomorrow is my knit along, my blue caterpillar shawlette knit along, which I am doing as kind of a favor, plus it's kind of fun, for Heather of Pearly Shell over in the Wool and Fiber Arts community group. And that is this thing right here. I know it'll be backwards, but this one. This is the blue caterpillar shawlette, because their theme is Alice in Fiberland in the Wool and Fiber Arts community this month. And yeah, I kind of decided I was doing green because I had the green, so I'm doing green. So it's gonna be a green shawl, and I'm actually using two different bases. So this one's merino yak silk, and this one is superwash merino and nylon. Totally different bases, and there's no reason you can't do that. Also, you could use leftovers. So if you wanted to, you could use leftovers. I'm using brand new skeins, totally up to you. So that's going on. It starts tomorrow, but if you miss it, I'll put the videos up on our Black Sheep Facebook page and on YouTube. So you can find them there. No big deal. So anyway, that knit along is going on. And then, and I need to put up a little something about gauge swatching, because, you know, we should all do our gauge swatches. And of course there we go, my wrap wants to fall down. But I'm finally using the pin that Tina got me in Spain. So I got my happy pin in my happy shawl, and I'm wearing it, and it's all comfy. So yeah, anyway, that's exciting, sort of. But anyway, let's get back to what we need to talk about today, which is our history of crochet lace. So we've done bobbin lace, 2 pieces on bobbin lace, a piece on tatting, and now we're doing our crochet, and then next week we get into knitting. And when we talk about crochet lace, crochet is one of them that's even more mired in mystery than most of the origins of lace. Nobody really knows where exactly crochet lace first started or came from. Their best guess is that it actually arises from a form of embroidery that's like a tambour embroidery, where you have a piece of fabric and a hoop and you stretch it like you do for embroidery, and then you have a hook that you use to pull loops through the fabric and then do kind of a slipped stitch crochet along the top. So that is what they think was the prototype or the originator of crochet, because when you take away the fabric and then you start doing different things with the loops, what do you know? Suddenly it's crochet. And the earliest that they think that this happened was probably somewhere around like 1800. That's what they think. Could have been a little earlier, could have been a little later, but 1800 seems to be like a pretty, you know, pretty accepted time period. And oh, Bev, you're making a tea in the greens. They're fun greens. Hey, Kathy, nice to see you too. Yeah. So yeah, it's just, you know, it is what it is. It's fabric. Fabric is always really hard to date because, of course, fabric, you know, rots. It rots away. We don't have preservation of fabric like we do a lot of other things because it's soft and it's made out of, you know, plant fibers, animal fibers, and it goes away. But we really do think that crochet most likely arose from tambour, and that it's, again, probably somewhere around the 1800s, most likely. Now, again, we aren't 100% sure about that. And you start with the simple things, very simple slip stitches, and, you know, everybody knows what a crochet hook looks like, right? Crochet hook, crochet hook. I like these ergonomic ones. These are tulip ones. These are my favorite. I haven't crocheted in a while. I should really get back to it, but these are, I love these. I hate pink, by the way, but I still own these because I like them that much. Even though I hate pink, and my child loves pink. But anyway, and I have like an entire case of them because, again, I like these tulip crochet hooks so much. Anyway, so crochet becomes more important as we get into like the late 1800s into the early 1900s, because it is a fast lace. It's a more coarse lace. Just like with tatting or with knitted lace, it's faster to work than what bobbin lace is. So they consider it a coarse lace because it's faster. I think it can be just as fine and just as pretty. It's just a difference in how it's worked and the thread size. And I have a really good example thanks to my mom, and I'm hoping that the glare isn't too bad from this. Oh, you can totally see my ring light. Let me go back. There. This is a really, really good example. Ooh, fun ring light. We're just gonna like play with that. Of crochet lace. We'll get it really close. So there, it's a really good example of crochet lace. She found this at a Goodwill and bought it for me because she knew that I would appreciate it. And it was beautifully, actually that's the top there. It was beautifully mounted already. But you can see, look at these fabulous little crochet rosettes. Now those are a style of crochet that has become associated with Irish crochet. And Irish crochet is really interesting because during the Irish potato famines in the 1800s, there were a lot of charitable organizations that were trying to find a way to help out the Irish people. And one of the ways that they thought they could do that was by teaching them crochet and then helping them to market their crochet lace to kind of like the global or world audience, so they could make a little money because all of their potato crops, of course, you know, were failing. And that is where Irish crochet laces become the kind of the savior of a lot of families in Ireland. It's what keeps them from dying. I mean, they don't make a great living at it. It's, you know, still handwork. You don't make a great living at it, but you do make a little something, and they're able to survive on the income from crochet laces in the mid-1800s in Ireland. So that's why I think, you know, crochet lace is really interesting. It's something that I definitely should explore more. I love how fine this piece is. I'll just show you the piece one more time. Like it's very, very fine. It's a very fine thread. Very, very fine little chains, and you can see, I mean, look at this. Look at how fine this thread has to be. Here's my finger on top of it. Very, very fine, but it's beautifully done again. And they've got these great little rosettes. Love these roses. Beautifully, beautifully done. And you also see cooperatives that form because there's a subset of the Irish crochet lace, which is the clones Irish lace. And in that one, you have a group of workers, a group of Irish crochet artists who make a lot of small pieces. And then you have a master crochet artist who takes all those little pieces and puts them together into a bigger piece. So really, I mean, it's a very interesting history of crochet, even though you don't have the longer history that you do with bobbin lace. You still get you know, a really interesting look at how important lace was for the various time periods that it was in, as well as the importance of crochet lace, again, for like keeping families from dying in Ireland, because they could at least make a little bit, so they had something with their Irish crochet. And crochet, of course, is one of those very few handwork items that we have not invented a machine which can replicate it yet. I hope I said that correctly. No machine can truly make crochet lace. No machine can truly make tatted lace either. It can only be done by hand, and that's because of the way that the hook and the shuttle, respectively, are manipulated in order to create the motifs that are the signature pieces of crochet and tatting. And I have my little identification book. So I think I've shown this before, but just in case, it's Lace, which is it's a quick guide to identification by the Lace Arts Council for Education. And in here they have photos, and the top photo right there is handmade Irish crochet lace, and you can really see in the photo all the individual little pieces versus this machine-made crochet lace, which you can tell is really machine done. It's definitely not an actual kind of crochet. It's fake crochet. It's a, you know, kind of like an embroidery that's been stripped down. So really interesting stuff when it comes to patterning. There's some fabulous old patterns available. Of course, everybody knows about Weldon's practical needlework. But you can find some great old crochet pieces in work baskets, which I think I've got work baskets up here. Let's grab a work basket. I'm glad I was up here today so I could do this. Ooh, I think there's a nice one on the front there. Yeah, that guy. Let's see if I can find it inside. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. April 1954. That's been a few days. So yeah, there it is, the small doily. Approximately 175 yards of size 30 mercerized crochet thread. So there it is again. Right there. Anyway, fabulous, fabulous old crochet patterns. And honestly, I know a lot of people associate crochet with the 1960s, 1970s, with ponchos and with, you know, I don't know, like plant hangers and things like that. And you can totally use it for ponchos and plant hangers. You could knit it too. But I just like to reiterate that crochet can be very fine. It can be lace. It can be crochet lace. And that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's kind of fun. Okay, so now that we've had fun with our little dab of crochet lace history, which there isn't quite as much because, you know, hasn't been around forever. Oh, and Kathy, you've done several doilies and the pineapple stitch. Everybody loves that pineapple stitch. Everybody loves pineapple stitch. Tamara, your sister decided to learn crochet and the first thing she made was a lacy table runner. Oh, wow, that is ambitious. I say it's ambitious. I didn't do that. I learned how to crochet. The first thing I made was a scarf, and the second thing I made was a scarf, and the third thing I made was a scarf. See where I'm going here? I made a lot of crochet scarves when I started off. Yeah, I made a lot of crochet scarves when I first started. A lot. Yeah. Anyway, next week we're going to get into history of knitted lace, and I'm going to talk the Estonian, Shetland, and Orenburg traditions. And Cheryl says she's done doilies in a tablecloth. Nice. At least it wasn't a scarf like me. Yeah, filet crochet. Filet crochet is really interesting. It can kind of be lacy, but it's harder to make it lacy. It's not impossible. It's just harder. And, you know, it's fine. But yeah, it's fine. Anyway, so next week we're going to talk about the history of knitted lace. It'll be kind of short again, like our history of crochet, because knitting too, and knitted lace traditions are sort of younger arts. I mean, young is very relative, right? They're still They're still like centuries old, but they're not quite as old as what bobbin lace is. So we'll talk about the Shetland, Estonian, and Orenburg traditions, and that segues nicely because my books came. My Estonian books came. Both of my books came. So next week I will show off the rest of the books that I got. This one we got in last year, but I finally got my copy from the shop. And this one we got in just a couple of months ago. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to show those off next week. It's very exciting for me. And then, what do you guys think? Is this history of lace kind of interesting? Because if it is, I could do one more session where we talk about needle laces. There's Hardanger, Mediterranean knotted lace. Is Tenerife technically? Well, I don't know. I have a little more research to do, but there's several needle laces. So I could do one more Monday on the history of lace, and we could talk about at least those two that I can think of, the Hardanger and the Mediterranean knotted lace. And if I get my act together, maybe I can show you Mediterranean knotted lace, because I know how to do it, but boy, has it been a while. Anyway, okay, good. So we'll do 2 more sessions. I'll do knitting, and then we'll do needle laces, and then we'll kind of get back onto our, like, Mondays are rotating things. This Wednesday, I am going to talk about warping my rigid heddle loom and stripes and some things that I ran into and how Kelly cannot count because Kelly cannot count. I blame the time change. And anyway, so I made a mistake when I was direct warping my rigid heddle loom, and so it's still going to be pretty. It's just not going to be the stripe pattern that I quite intended it to be, but we'll talk about all of that on Wednesday, and hopefully I will have wound on my warp and tied it on as well. I'm trying to get all that done before Wednesday so that we can talk about stripe patterns and warp versus weft and all that fun stuff with the rigid heddle loom. Anyway, so that's kind of the plan for Wednesday, is we're going to talk about stripes and mistakes and mostly Kelly's mistakes, because she makes a lot of them. And it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. I learn every time I do it. I learn what not to do, and then I can tell all of you, and hopefully it will help you. I don't know that it's going to help you, but I hope that it will help you. Anyway, and then I kind of want to do, at some point soon here, I want to show you all the stuff that Tina sent me, because I got in the Olympus thread, which I haven't even played with yet. I did like very gently finger tat. She sent me some wire that we're testing out, so I was trying some purple wire and a little dab of wire tatting. So I want to show you guys how to do that. And it's still March, so we're still doing our what is it? Spring into Lightweight projects for March. So remember to keep putting up those posts for your self-care. And, you know, when you can get outside, do get outside. It is raining here today, and I'm not a duck. Because, you know, I have lots of ducks. No, I have 3 ducks. It's not that many. But yeah, I just didn't really feel like going outside and sitting in the rain and giving this talk. So we're inside again. It's not quite as fun. I much prefer it when I can chit chat with you all outside in the sunshine. Although sometimes it's a little windy, but that's beside the point. Okay, so we at least have a plan. Next Monday is going to be knitted lace. The Monday after that, we will talk about needle laces. And then maybe the Monday after that, I can finally show you all the fun stuff, and we can compare the different kinds of Olympus thread that we have. I can show you the wire tatting, and we can play with that a little bit. And I think that'll be lots of fun. At least that's my goal. And I do have classes, so if you're looking for a fun little class, I try to make them pretty inexpensive, and they usually last an hour to an hour and a half for each session, so they're, you know, not too long. And if there's a class that you want me to teach, throw out a suggestion, because I am always up for putting up classes that people actually want me to teach them, instead of just like trying to make up classes and hope someone likes it. So yeah, I like teaching. I miss doing that. I had a lot of fun with my first 2 classes this year, and I would love to have some more students and teach again. So tell your friends, like, get your friends together, get, you know, 2 or 3 people together. And if I try to teach in the evenings, 1 evening a week, so that my husband can watch Ina and I can devote my attention to all of you. But, you know, if it needs to be during the day, hit me up. Sometimes I can do these mid-afternoon ones when Ina's napping. Yeah, that's what I do. Ina's taking a nap and I talk to all of you. And I try to get some things done. But anyway, yeah. So Wednesdays are going to stay for weaving at least through the month of March. We might change in April, but at least through the month of March. We're going to keep doing Wednesdays are for weaving. And after I get this next project off my loom, then I don't know. Should I do like a hand spun? Should I do hand spun? Hand spun could be fun. We could talk about hand spun on the loom. Or I saw one that looked kind of fun where you do like a double warp so that you can fold it open so you can get double the width. I mean, I have like a 32-inch loom, so I have quite a bit of width, but you know, that could be fun. I don't know. Or I could do like a rainbow. I haven't done a rainbow one. That could be fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hand spun. The, what do they call it? It's not double weaving. Can't think of it right now. But, you know, basically the folded width or a rainbow. I don't know. And then eventually we have to get back into spinning again as well, because we do need to talk about spinning, and we need to talk about, Tamara's voting for rainbow. I just got that comment. Yeah, so we could get back into spinning. In April maybe we'll do like Wednesdays are for spinning. It doesn't have the pretty alliteration of Wednesdays are for weaving, but it is what it is. Maybe we'll alternate. Maybe we'll do like 1 week of weaving and then 1 week of spinning, and we'll go back and forth. So it's a little more fun, a little more multi-craftual, because I do try to cover lots of crafts so that I can entertain you all Mondays and Wednesdays. Anyway, all right, so if you are joining me tomorrow, make sure that you have your yarns picked out and you have done a sample swatch. That way you know what your gauge should be for the blue caterpillar shawlette. If you aren't joining me, why not? You don't have to actually make it, just join the video. It'll be all kinds of fun. And then Wednesday we're going to do weaving. Friday Tina will be on. I don't know what she's talking about. She talks about everything, although she seems to talk about underwear almost every week. So if you want to be entertained by Tina talking about underwear, I mean, I'm just mentioning. And then next week we'll do our history of lace knitting. We'll do some more weaving. We'll follow that again with the history of needle laces, and then we'll move on into some other stuff, because I have things that I want to show you, and I'm only here twice a week. I know, I'm only here twice a week, right? So don't forget to go check out our blacksheepfiberemporium.com website for all of the information about the Year of Self-Care. Make sure that you're posting for that. If you haven't liked and followed our YouTube channel, Facebook page, TikTok channel, or Instagram channel, and you happen to be on those social media platforms, please do help us out. And make sure that you follow us wherever you like to follow us. It helps us get exposure, and make sure you're telling your friends about us and share the events so they can join in too. And remember, I do try to make sure that I save my videos and put them up on YouTube later. So even if you happen to miss one live, I do try to put them up on YouTube. You can always send me a message if you have a question or a suggestion for a chat that you'd like to hear more about, or some kind of, lace history or crafting, whatever. I mean, I'm always up for a challenge. It's been a while since I've done embroidery. We'll have to do more of that in the future too. So don't forget all of that. And yes, Tamara, I know that on Friday she tends to talk about the Edwardian underwear, but she also didn't have underwear because David didn't pack it for her because she was running behind packing all of the wonderful boxes that you had purchased to ship out. And as a result, she didn't have any underwear when she got to Arizona. So she's talking about both kinds of underwear, her own and the Edwardian. So anyway, I just like to throw it out there. It's like just one of those funny things, it's scatological humor almost. It's the underwear. I suppose we could talk about bras one day. There's fascinating history in brasiers, and it does relate to lace. So it's not like I couldn't, relate it back to what we're talking about. Anyway, all right. I don't want to keep you guys too long today. I think we've had a lot of fun in our discussion about the history of crochet lace, as well as made good plans for the future. So I will see you all on Wednesday for Wednesday weaving. And remember, even if you don't weave, tune in, hang out, ask questions. It's always fun. And I will see you all then. Please remember to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, craftually, as I like to say. Wear your mask, wash your hands, physically distance. I don't like to call it socially distancing. I find this to be very social, but physically distancing. Just take care of yourself. So take care of yourself. Ooh, and Tamara has fun information about the Langeberg, I hope I said that right, medieval bra and knitted lace. Yeah, I love talking about undergarments. It's probably that like Puritan based taboo thing, but I like talking about undergarments. I have no fear of talking about undergarments, I'll put it that way. All right. Until next time, do please take care of yourself and make sure you make a little time to craft every day. And don't forget to go check out our Black Sheep Fiber Emporium shop because we are putting new things up. And we talk about the new things, but all of the Olympus, I think all of that thread has finally made it up in the products. So if you search for it, you'll find it and you can order it and take a little bit home for yourself. And it's nice for crochet or small knitted items, but it's also really nice for tatting. Anyway, I'll see you Wednesday. Take care.